because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And now running right through it. The 20. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 41 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Looking to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
He'll look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Gonna throw right side here, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
319.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. 319.
They'll look to throw here. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 319.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you know, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Come on, let's go.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Time for a break. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Come on, let's go!
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
On the NFL scoreboard, they are in the fourth now in Carson. And the Ravens have wound up winning that affair. If they can hold on to that lead to the end, it would up their win total to 7. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. On the crossing route, complete. That's time. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
Here we go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 30.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Pittsburgh, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Whoa, I'm totally surprised by that result. Jeez. 7 tackles, 5.5 sacks.